All right, evaluating expressions or substituting values and performing operations. So the objective today is to use order of operations to evaluate algebraic expressions. But what in the world does evaluate mean? Well, to evaluate means we substitute the value of a variable into the expression, and then we do the math. So let's very quickly review the vocabulary of algebraic expressions. So the two together here, we see 5x minus 3. And each of these, the 5x and the 3, or is that a negative 3? Yes, negative 3, are both terms. So this has two terms. The 5 is called the coefficient, and it's a factor. And the x is the variable. And finally, this negative 3 is the constant. But what if we wanted to evaluate 5x minus 3 for some given value of x? Well, what if that given value were negative 3? Well, here's what we would do. We would substitute the negative 2 where the x was. And so now 5 times negative 2 minus 3. Next, we want to multiply, and we'll get 10 minus 3. Then we're going to combine these two, and negative 10 minus 3 is negative 13. But what if we had something a little harder and we've got two different variables? Well, let's give it a whirl. Now, x is negative 5 and y is 3. It's really important that when we substitute, we use parentheses, and it would look something like this. So 4 times negative 5 plus 2 times 3 minus 10. First thing we want to do now is to multiply, and we'll get negative 20 plus, not plus 2, but plus plus 6, the quantity, 2 times 3, and minus 10. So we've got to do all our multiplication first. Aunt Sally says so. And then we combine the terms to get negative 24. But what if we have something like this? These negatives make things really pesky. And that's why these parentheses become especially important. So watch this. So negative 8 minus 5 times negative 8. So first we want to multiply. And then we can look at this in two different ways. We can say negative 8 plus 40 because negative 5 times negative 8 is positive 40. Or we can say negative 8 minus the product of 5 and negative 8, which gives us negative 40. But you know what? Minus a negative 40 is the same thing as plus 40. So we get 32 as our answer. We must be very, very careful when evaluating expressions when the variable has an exponent on it, especially if the exponent or the value are negative. So let's give this a whirl. So if we had something kind of complicated like x squared plus 6x plus 10, where x is negative 3, watch carefully. First, we want to put it into the expression inside parentheses. And we get negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3 plus 10. First thing we have to do, Aunt Sally tells us, is to deal with the exponent. So we're going to use the negative 3 twice. Then we're going to multiply. So now we have negative 9 minus 18 plus 10. Now we want to combine those numbers. First, the negative 9 minus 18 is a negative 9, plus the 10 gives us a final answer of 1. This is another example like the last one, and if you'd like to pause this one and see how it progresses, please do. All the examples can really help you. But let's do a harder example, and these are the ones similar that you have on your skill builders. So what if we had AC plus B squared? Well, remember, AC means A times C. We want to substitute this in parentheses. So now it looks something like this. 8 times negative 5 plus negative 2 squared. Notice that -2, which is substituted in for B, is in parentheses. So first we have to do the square the -2, and then we multiply the 8 and the -5 to get -40 plus 4. Combine the numbers for a -36. Hope this has been helpful. Have a great day.